you have mentioned about trade routes and traders were very well associated with these caves.
Mhm.
So, who were the actual patrons of these caves?
If you're asking about Ajanta, then uh, yes, we do have the names of some donors and some patrons. As you know, Ajanta was done in two phases. One was the earlier phase, the pre-Christian phase, when uh, caves uh, 9 and 10, those caves over there in the center, 9 and 10, the the apsidal and vault roofed. So those 9 and 10. So in cave number 10, you find an inscription on the facade which says Vasati Pusata Putasa Katahadino Gharamukh Danam. So which means the son of Vasisht donated the facade. That is the front face, and it was made of wood. Katahadino means a structure made of wood, something like that. But inside the cave, you find another inscription which says that this wall was donated by somebody. So it appears that multiple people made the donations, but that was the case in the earlier times. And but what happened later on in 5th century AD? Uh, it appears that you had different persons who were funding different caves. So we have the name of, for example, uh, Varahadeva. So he was the donor of Ajanta cave number 16, and he was Varahadeva was a Sachiva, that is written in his inscription. He was the prime minister or the chief secretary, next only to the king of the Vakataka Empire. So that guy, Varahadeva, he donated Ajanta cave number 16, and he also donated uh, the Ghatotkach cave, so-called Ghatotkach cave, which is just like from here if you go near the waterfall, and from the waterfall if you walk through the waterfall, kept going, then I think within 10 kilometers, I mean within 6 kilometers you find a village called Lenapur, and if you further go, maybe walk less than 10 kilometers, then you will find this place called, which is now known as Ghatotkach cave.
Janjal.
Janjala, near the village known as Janjala. So he also donated that cave because his inscription is found over there. Now, but next to cave 16, you have cave number 17. In that cave 17, there is also the donor's name written, but one part, some word, some akshara is illegible. It has been deteriorated, damaged. So scholars have some different kind of interpretations. Professor Walter Spink, who studied Ajanta for almost 3 to 4 decades, maybe longer, 5 decades, he felt that the name of the donor of Ajanta Cave 17, 18, 19, and even 20 was Upendra Gupta. That is his reconstruction. But you have another scholar, his name is Ajay Mitra Sastri, and he felt that the donor's name was Dharadheep, and his younger brother was Ravi Samba. And by the way, two donor portraits are depicted inside the shrine of Ajanta cave number 17. So they were two donors. So we have Varahadeva, who was the like the prime minister of the empire, next only to the king, and he donated. Then you have a local king. I mean, this Dharadhipa or Upendra Gupta, whatever his name was a feudatory, that is the Samanta of the Vakataka empire, and it appears that he was ruling in a country, ancient country called Rishika, and uh, it appears that right now the place where we are sitting is probably fell in the Rishika country, because below the Ghat you have Khandesh because you have Jalgaon over there, and you climb the Ghat, and you have Aurangabad over there. So this was another country. Now again, there is a two opinions. One above the Ghat in this area, either you have the Mulaka country or you had the Ashmaka country. So there is a little bit of confusion as to what was the name of this country. But these Ghats were perhaps the like the bordering states. You have this Rishika country, and from here up to the Tapti river, you know, this was and up to entire Khandesh, what we say, it was probably the ancient Rishika, also known as Asika in the ancient Puranas. So what I'm trying to say is that you had the local king who was the donor over here. Then you get the name of one Buddha Bhadra. Uh,
In
he's in
which cave?
cave number 26, and you know his name is written there. He was a Buddhist monk, you know, and he donated that Ajanta cave number 26. And if you study the architectonics of Ajanta cave 26, then you will know that it is a very, very elaborate and sprawling cave, and it was an edifice, a rock cut edifice, you know, which was the most elaborate, most complex, and it had many innovations, architectural innovations, and it definitely required a lot of time. And so Buddhabhadra was definitely very resourceful in order to manage this. So, so you have a monk over there, which is also a donor, and in cave number 4, inside the shrine, on the Buddha image, near his pedestal, the name of one Mathura is written. He was the donor of that image. It's a very short inscription, so we do not know to what extent Mathur made the donation, but he was, we don't know what was his class or business or profession. Maybe he was a merchant or, but there is a cave number 12 which was excavated in the pre-Christian times, you know, during the Satvahana age. That is almost like 3rd century BC or 2nd century BC cave, cave number 12. And in that cave, you have an inscription. That inscription says that one Ghana Madadarsa, something like that, Ghana Madadarsa, difficult to pronounce, his name was, it's written in Prakrit. And so that guy hailed from a place called Thana. So Professor Dhavlikar in one of his papers thought that probably it is the Thane near Bombay. So this guy came from Bombay. But recently I found, I mean, it came to my light, and everybody knows here that there's a Thane village over here, right here in Ajanta. You walk just 4 kilometers or 3 kilometers, you'll find Thane village. So Thane is right here. And I have found some old 5th century bricks in the Thane village. I published it in my book. So that village uh, is very old village. So probably he came from there. But it is clearly written Vanija, that is merchant, you know, business person. It is written over there. So he was a business person. He came from right here, and he donated cave number 12. So these are some of the names about the donors that we patrons and donors that we get about Ajanta.